It's no longer a surprise when CSGO gets an update. This year it's become a weekly occurrence, with additional bug fixes often in between. This one isn't exactly a big update, but I certainly think that it's an interesting one. Not just content with shuffling the maps and gameplay elements, but also rolling out improvements and optimizations to the game's engine as well. Not that I could figure out what all of them were. Let's take a look. They've optimized map loading process by using ambient lighting data included in newly built maps. Does this mean that newly made maps will load faster? I recompiled a map of mine, but long story short, found nothing to suggest it loaded faster than the old version did. Stability improvements in decal rendering immediately made me wonder if they had fixed how overlapping decals turn purple. But they haven't done that. So again, I'm unsure, but it could be to make the decal holes more consistent between clients, or even just to make the order in which they're layered more reliable. If anybody knows more, then let me know and I'll put it in the description. Funeral Chris posted on Reddit a few days ago saying that you could lower sound volumes using _set_sound_param. Say you wanted to remove background sounds, or to make footsteps louder than anything else. Well, you can't do it anymore, because they removed that console command in this update. And for some reason, they feature updated radar maps for Vertigo and miscellaneous changes. The changes to the radars aren't too significant. They added the new raised scaffolding at the back of A, and made the lower radar correctly show that one crate stack at A is higher than the other. After its huge change the other week, Ruby has been moved into the competitive map pool, and Zoo has been removed. Ruby has been given extra visual decorations to make it prettier, since a lot of the nice details were removed while the map received a major layout update the other week. The tram bug would only have been seen by me, since it requires you load an older version of the map followed by a newer one, which made the tram go invisible. This is fixed by changing the name and the texture of the model whenever it's had an adjustment. Kicking too many teammates results in a competitive cooldown for the person kicking them. This is done to deter people from excessively abusing the kick feature, which should only be used once in a while, and not as a tool to kick anybody you don't think is good enough to be on your team or whatever. Before this update, kicking multiple people in a single match could potentially make you go from 0 cooldown up to a rather lengthy one. But this update has limited it to 1 cooldown level, meaning you won't find yourself in a week-long ban after just 1 or 2 kick-filled games. You're still discouraged from kicking people, but just not as much as you were before. And last is the changes to Danger Zone. The radar jammer has had its price dropped from $1,750 down to $1,250, because I guess it wasn't being used as often as Valve intended. It's not like it was useless, it's just that there were so many other more appealing things you could do with $1,750. The shield has been made better by reducing the size of the slit you see through. It always seemed like a bit of a flaw for a shield to have a hole in it. Why not fill that mother with plexiglass or something instead? But as it stands, Valve has simply made the hole smaller, as you can see from this comparison. And this is how your viewing experience changes when holding the shield. That's right, it doesn't. Valve please fix. And the parachute during warm-up starts from a greater height, meaning you can cover more distance before landing. Since it's warm-up, I don't think anybody cares too much, so I won't bother to cover this in more depth. So, a nice quiet update, and one that didn't take me 2 weeks to cover. In other news, I've almost finished making my biggest video ever. 700 gigabytes of footage, hundreds of hours of editing so far, and almost 40 minutes of the highest quality content I've ever produced. It'll be released over on 2 Clicks Phillip. Up until last November, the channel produced regular and varied content on all kinds of games, but has spent the last 7 months focusing on a special trilogy set in the world of Skyrim. I consider them all to be among the biggest and best videos I've ever made, and each has gotten bigger than the last. So far, the final video has taken me 5 months. It's kind of finished, but with a project of this size, I need to spend some time re-watching and re-editing it before I'm happy to release it. This project is special to me for other reasons as well. The first video I ever made was back in 2003 for Skyrim's predecessor, Morrowind. At the time, I was kind of obsessed with Lord of the Rings, and had I finished the video, it would probably just have been a cheap knockoff of it. It's embarrassing by today's standards, but it means a lot to me that I finally had a chance to complete a machinima for the series, and one that I think would make my younger self proud, and maybe a little jealous. So yeah, I'm very excited about it, and I hope you're able to watch it with me when it premieres early next month. Hopefully YouTube won't cruelly broadcast it in 360p like it did with the previous video. As a YouTuber, this kind of ambitious project is the sort I live for, and it's gotten me just as excited as my first few videos launched on YouTube did. Check out the first 2 videos here, and the trailer for the third one here. All of them contain hints and spoilers for the third video, and I'm interested to see how much you're able to figure out before the final video is released. If you have any predictions, post them in the trailer's comment section. I can't wait to see how wrong you all are.